Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a Unit 2 tutorial. All right, so it's going to be extremely important throughout the rest of the year that we know very well how to work with variables and that we're very comfortable with working with variables arithmetically and algebraically. All right, so let's just jump right in and let's talk about some variables. Okay, let's say we had these two terms. Let's say we had a term 2a over here, and let's say we had a term 3x over here. All right, so we have two variables here. On the left side here, we have an a term. So this means when we have like a number and then a letter or other symbol just written right next to each other, this is really 2 times a. This is 2 multiplied with the variable a. Now that variable a stands for a number. It plays the role of a number. It is a number, but we just don't know what number it is exactly. So we write it usually with a letter, sometimes with another symbol. Similarly over here, this expression, this term 3x, same thing, that means 3 times x. 3 multiplied by some other number x. 3 times an unknown number, so we use the letter x to represent the fact that it is unknown. All right, so let's say we had these two terms, and let's say we wanted to add these terms together. Say we wanted to add these terms together. All right, well, let's think about what we would do, okay? Well, you see there's a 2a on the left-hand side, and there's a 3x on the right-hand side, right? So your first instinct might be to say, okay, the answer is 5 something, right? But 5 what? 5a? It can't be 5a because we only have 2 a's, right? 2 times a means we have 2 a's. It can't be 5x because we only have 3 x's, right? So the bottom line is, and let me try to get something to erase with here, the bottom line is we can't combine these terms. The best we can do if we want to add them together, well, adding them together means plus, right? So the best we can do is just write 2a plus 3x. We cannot simplify that expression any better. All right, so basically the idea is here you cannot combine non-like terms. Okay, if you had something like, 5y plus, say, 12c, it's not like this equals, 17 something, right? Right? We can't just combine those numbers together if the variables that are attached to those numbers are not exactly the same. All right, so let's take a look at the kind of task or the kind of operation we need to be able to do very easily with variables throughout this course. All right, so let's look at this big old expression we have here. We have 3x plus 7y plus 2x plus 10 plus 10y plus 1, and we're asked to simplify this expression. So when you're given just a big expression with a bunch of different variables being added or subtracted together, maybe some multiplication thrown in there too, basically the idea is we want to combine like terms. You've probably heard that verbiage before. I bet you anything you've at least heard that phrase, combine like terms. All right, so what in the world do we mean by combine like terms? Well, like terms are just terms that have the exact same variable factor. All right, so let's look up to our expression. What kind of variables do we have here? We have some terms that have an x factor as their variable, right? And those are the terms in green here. We have 3x, and we have 2x. So we have two x terms there. Looks like we have some y terms here. We have 7y, we have 10y, so we have those two y terms. And what about these numbers in red? They don't have any variable attached, right? So these are constant terms. These are the constant terms. All right, so we can combine the like terms, but we can only combine the like terms. Like we can't take that 7x and add it with the, sorry, we can't take that 7y and simplify it by adding with it 2x. Because the simplest way you can write 7y plus 2x, they don't combine, so you can only write 7y plus 2x. That's as simple as it can get. But we can more simply write 3x plus 2x, because if you have 3 of something over here and 2 of that same thing over there, you have a total of 5 of that something, right? So if we have 3 x's in our first term here and 2 x's in our third term over here, and clearly we're adding, right? We can combine those together, start with the 3x and add 2x, and we'll get 5x. So that will be the simplified x term of this expression, 5x. All right, so we've taken care of all of our x's. Let's look at our other variable, y. All right, so we have two y terms here, right? We have a 7y, and there's a plus sign in front of it. That means this is a term of positive 7y. And then over a couple terms to the right, we have this plus 10y. So those are our only two y terms. So we can combine them by putting them together. If we have 7y in one hand and 10y in the other hand, or 7 y's and 10 y's, how many y's are we holding in total? 7 plus 10 y's. So we have positive 17y in this expression. So we can write that as plus 17y. 2x and 2y, sorry, 3x and 2x and 7y and 10y all being combined together is the same as 5x and 17y being combined together. I know this can get a little wordy. I hope I'm not losing anyone. All right, don't we have another kind of term? We do. We have constant terms with no variables at all, right? Now, some students sometimes have the idea that they can do something like this, and I'm just going to write a little box over here. Often students know that if they have something like, I don't know, 3x plus 5x, Often students know that they have something like, if they have something like 3x plus 5y, that they can't combine that because, well, they're different terms, right? So often students will know you can't just put those together and say you have 8 what? It doesn't work because they're not like terms, right? Often students will know that, but sometimes they'll think if one term is a variable term and the other term is just a constant term, sometimes they'll say, oh, well, the second term doesn't have a variable, so therefore that must mean we can combine these, and this is equal to 8x. Nope, that does not work. Constant terms are not the same thing as any variable term, right? If you have 3 x's over here and just 5 1's on the other side, you can't combine x's with constant terms, right? You have to make sure that whenever you're combining your terms, they have the exact same variable factors. All right, so knowing that, let's take a look at our constant terms we're dealing with here. We have a constant term of 10 with a plus sign in front of it. That means we have a term of positive 10. And then over here we have a plus 1. That means we're combining another term of positive 1. If we have a positive 1 in, if we have a positive 10 in our left hand, positive 1 in our right hand, what do we have in total? We have positive 11. So we're adding positive 11 to this expression, and this is the most simplified that our original expression can possibly be.